what is your opinion on the concept of ecumenism?
Okay, ecumenism. Well, I'm not a fan of ecumenism. I don't believe in ecumenism as an ism at all, right? Because I believe in the church. I became Orthodox because there's one church, we say it in the Creed, one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. That's not popular because we don't want one. We want our own ways, right? So we don't want Christ's church. We want our own churches, quote unquote. God, again, God's the master of hearts. But the problem with ecumenism is essentially it's giving a new ecclesiology. Right? It's not church ecclesiology. It's a new anti-church ecclesiology. It's saying that the church was broken, that the church failed. Men fail. There's been men that fail in the church, and women. Let's be equal because we're times equal. Men and women equally failed in the church, right? So, but the church, as that spiritual divine reality, never fails. Right? Christ came to establish his church, against which the gates of hell will never prevail. Right? He tells Timothy, the church is the pillar and ground of all truth. Right? We say in the Creed, I believe in one Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. One, because God is one. That's St. Paul says in Ephesians. There's one Lord, one baptism, one body, right? One, because God is one. Holy Trinity. There's not many. He's not polygamous. God has polygamy. That's what modern ecclesiology has a bunch of brides. No, he has one bride. And so that's why. And so I think we have to lovingly, of course, because there has to be love. We can't be in truth and stand up. But I think it's a great temptation, a great error, because it seems to be it's a distorted modern love. But the best thing that I can do is just say, no, the church is here. She's always been here. She's just here. She's waiting. Everyone just come back to the church. Then we'll have unity. We just come back to orthodoxy. Then we'll have unity. But the modern ecumenistic spirit, I think, is not from the Spirit of Christ. Not at all. I think it's a false spirit. And ultimately, the goal is that it gives us a new, as it were, well, I'll call it an anti-church. It gives us an anti-church. If you have an anti-church, then you have an anti-Christ, right? And so we have to be. Now that doesn't mean, let's say that's this whole thing. Like, let's just pretend our dogmas don't matter. That let's agree to disagree. Relativism, syncretism, right? Let's all pray together. Now, can I have, should I have amicable relationships with people? I should, hopefully, That doesn't mean I have to be, no, that's different. A relationship with a person is different. But when we're talking on a corporate level where we're going to go act like somehow we're all part of a broken system, no, we are all part of the broken system of sin, but the church is not broken. That's a heresy. The church is not broken. And so I don't need the World Council of Churches to fix that at all. And, my opinion is that, sure, if we want to reach out, we want to talk and do these things, okay, it's the world, we can do that. But it has to be done in a context where we're not compromising, where we're not praying together, we're not partaking in services, as it were, that gives the appearance that Orthodoxy is just another flavor on the choose your religion, your church. And then beyond now, we see that it's moved beyond even just Christian religions. We have statements from people saying that, we're all serving the same God, really. And which is, God help us. God will judge the human hearts, but we're not. The Holy Trinity is not the same God. It's just not. It's not trying to be mean. It's just the reality. The Muslims themselves reject the Holy Trinity. That's not me trying to be mean, but they reject my God. So I'm not serving the same God. Modern Judaism, that is, non-Christians, they reject it. They reject Christ as the Messiah. They reject Christ as God. So I'm not serving the same God. I don't have the same God at all. And it's not trying to be mean. It's just the way it is. It doesn't mean I have to go start some kind of aggressive something against them? No, of course not. But the reality remains, I serve the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's my God. And Buddhism rejects that. All of them reject that. He's not the one true God. Now, they might include him, like especially Eastern religions, amongst the pantheon of other things, but no, he's not part of the pantheon of other little deities. He is the one true God. That's it. So I can't compromise that. And then of course on a Christian level, I can't pretend like it's okay to believe the ever Virgin Mary wasn't ever virgin or something. That's dogmatic. I can't change that for you. You can't. That's just an easy one to kind of. And there's a lot of things from there. I can't pretend like the Philoque somehow was just a word misunderstanding, and we're really just saying the same thing but with different words. No, the Church Fathers said differently. St. Mark of Ephesus, St. Gregory of Palamas, and on the lists go, say no, this is not the way. So, but ecumenism is very arrogant because it wants to exalt itself and say, oh, somehow, these guys were kind of narrow-minded. I mean, it's implied. The saints, kind of narrow-minded. They didn't quite get it. They weren't as smart as we are today, right? St. Gregory Palamas, if he was really nuanced, he would have seen beyond kind of his own prejudice and he could get along. No, it's not the way it works. The Philoque is a heresy. I can't get around that. If you want to embrace heresy, then I guess knock yourself out. I can, but I'm not going to pretend like that's the same thing as truth. Heresy is not the same thing as truth. The problem with ecumenism is that it says heresy is the same as truth, and I can't say that.